Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, welcome dear devotees to our Bhakti Vrksa class on Saturday, May 23rd. How are you all doing?
Very good, Mataji.
Very
With God's
good,
grace.
Vatsana.
Very good, Mataji. How are you?
Good, thank you.
And Manasi.
We're good.
Good, Mataji.
You're good. Sonal Mataji, how are you doing?
Good, thank you.
Doing. Okay, so we should get started with the Vigyapti Panchaka prayers, and my Dandavat Pranams to Prasanna Prabhu, who is watching us on Facebook here. So we will just get going. Just give me a second here when I will start sharing the screen with you here. Start sharing Vigyapti Panchaka, which is here on desktop number 2. If I share it, can you tell me, are you able to see it?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes.
All right. Okay, so we will get started then.
We might need to maximize the screen. Mataji.
But you want to maximize? How bad is it looking?
It's very small, half of the screen. Only.
We can see the Facebook page as well.
Oh, you're able to see the Facebook here because I'm sharing the whole thing there. Oh, okay. Maybe because I'm not sharing the thing. Okay, does it become better now?
Yes.
Yes.
Any better?
Yeah.
You want me to share, Mataji, quick?
Huh? No, I'd rather share it from here because then I can, switch it off and on to get your, your reflections also like that. Yeah. Okay. Is it right? Come on, go maximum here. How is this? Now font is small.
Nice. Perfect.
Okay.
Font is small, but yeah, it is nice.
Yeah, it's good.
Is good.
Hare Krishna everyone. Dandavat Pranam. Jai Shri
How is this font here?
Hare Krishna Sudevi.
Is this font better?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, good. All right. So welcome to the call. I think Sudevi Mataji joined us here. And Rakesh Prabhu is entering from the door, but I think he'll have to sterilize himself with a shower because he's just coming from outside. So we'll have to do without him for some time. Thank you, Rohini Mataji, for joining us, and as well as Hemlata Patel Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. So we'll start with the prayer to the Guru, and then we'll start with the Vigyapti Panchaka prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरौ श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी विश्वभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। गोप्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। मत्समो नास्ति पापात्मा नापराधी च कश्चन परिहारेऽपि लज्जामि किं ब्रुवे पुरुषोत्तमा। युवतीनां यथा यूनि यूनं च युवतौ यथा मनोभिरमते तद्वन् मनो मे रमतां त्वयि। भूमौ स्खलितपादानां भूमिरेवावलम्बनं त्वयि जातापराधानां त्वमेवा शरणं प्रभु। गोविन्दा वल्लभे राधे प्रार्थये त्वामहं सदा त्वदीयम् इति जानातु गोविन्दो मां त्वया सह। राधे वृन्दावनाधीशे करुणामृतवाहिनी कृपया निज पादाब्जा दास्यं माह्यं प्रदीयताम्। Okay, now is the time to do reflections. Those of you who are watching us on the Facebook, including Shubh Vilash Prabhu, you can share your reflections on this Bhakti Panchika prayers by writing them on Facebook as a comment. And then those of you who are here can unmute yourself and share your reflections.
Kim Bruve Purushottama.
Kim Bruve Purushottama. Very nice. What else?
Parihare pilajjame kim bruve Purushottama. Oh,
Right. All the same. That's good. We are coming to a conclusion here as a team. Isn't that right? Okay, what else?
Mano me ramtam tvai.
Mano me ramtam tvai. Okay, what else?
Umaus, I don't know Sanskrit. It's like
Uma Kalita Padanam. Right? Sharing the Sanskrit with you. There
so the ground is only support for those whose feet are slipped.
right. Those who fall on the ground and do offenses, they are again supported by the ground itself. Okay. And then what else? Anything else? Welcome, Chitra and Garima Mataji. Khyati and Neeral. Yep, there you go. Sonal, Sudevi. Any thoughts?
Radhe Vrindavanadishe Karunamritavahini.
Yes, very nice. Okay. So are we ready to go into the translations then? And Suyash Prabhu, will you give us the reading order, please?
Mataji.
Okay.
That was instant.
The reading order. Varshana Mataji, Sonal Mataji, Manasi, Suyash, Sudevi Mataji, Neeral Prabhu, Khyati Mataji, Priti Radhika Mataji, Chitra Mataji, Shraddha Mataji.
Okay, so let's get going. Let's get started.
Hare Krishna. O Purushottama, no sinner or offender is as bad I am. How can I describe my shame? Just as the minds of young ladies take pleasure in young men, and the minds of young men take pleasure in young women, kindly let my mind take pleasure only in you alone. Hare Krishna.
Just as the ground is the only support for those whose feet have slipped, you alone are the only shelter for those who have offended you.
O Srimati Radharani, beloved of Lord Govinda, this is my request. May you and Lord Govinda consider me one of your assistants.
O Srimati Radharani, O Queen of Vrindavana, you are a river flowing with the nectar of mercy. Please be kind to me and give me a little service at your lotus feet.
Okay. Thank you for reading. Reflection time. Hare Krishna, Preeti Radhika. Good
Hare
to see
Krishna,
you.
ma'am.
Any words that come to your mind from the English?
Srimati Radharani is the river of nectar of mercy.
River of nectar of mercy. How about that? Can you imagine a river of nectar? And it's all mercy. If you fall down into that river, what's going to happen? You'll never drown, right? In that river. Yeah. So Khyati Mataji, what chapter are we reading today?
9th chapter, Mataji.
9th chapter.
Suresh Prabhu, do you want to share 9th chapter with us? Suresh Mansi, or should I share it? Let me know, whatever works for
Mataji,
Can you enable sharing, Mataji?
you. Isn't that bad, right? Ooh, sorry. There you go.
Hi, Nisha.
Yes, I can see. No. Chapter 9 of Bhagavad Gita.
Oh, okay.
And whose turn is it to read?
Sudevi Mataji.
Sudevi Mataji is all ready, set and go to read. Are you going to give it to us in Russian today?
Mata, you identified it's Russian, right?
It's gone to your previous life. Smart.
Chapter 9.
Chapter 9, wait.
Yes.
So chapter 9 is a big chapter, 34 verses. You still get a lot to read today. So are we okay on the reading order? Suyash, everybody knows where to go?
Yes. Can you?
2 verses per person?
Yes, Sudevi, 2 per person. And then who else is there? So Sudevi, can you tilt your camera just a little bit so that we can see the full? Yes, this is much better. So who's the last person before me?
Just a minute, Mataji.
It's
Chitra Mataji.
Mataji.
Yeah.
Who?
Chitra Mataji.
Chitra. Okay, done. I'll remember that.
What's that?
Okay.
Mataji, I liked your idea of that torch. Like you're running a marathon, one person gives the other, you just remember.
You know, yes, it is very important. And then also, so here's it. Once Damodar Vanchidhari Prabhu, you know Damodar Vanchidhari Prabhu, right?
Yes.
Tall, charismatic, who went back to India. So he once came up with a very nice formula about calculating how long it should take you to take to complete one round. Because there was always a question like, should it take me 4.5 minutes? Is 5 minutes good? Is it too fast? Is 12 minutes too slow? And things like that. So he did some mathematical calculations and he said, all right, so if I pronounce Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, it takes so many seconds. Multiply that by 108. And then he said that between 2 mantras, you'll have to breathe. So breathing will take so much of time. And so that was, and then he came and said, okay, you should take 6.5 minutes or something like that. He came, but that's not the point. The point is that what struck me was that he did take into account that you have to breathe in between, in between 2 mantras, you have to breathe. And so, which means that, you know, whenever you're calculating certain things, that there is some time which there will be some lag which will be introduced, you know, just because you have to breathe or you have to pass the baton. So when I saw that, I was like, oh my goodness, I don't have so much time to breathe. So
It just happened
breathe
with
after
me
every
once.
yes, I
We
said
are
I will
even chanting.
yeah. So I was like, I will breathe after 3 rounds, like, like that, so 10 years ago. So the idea was to cut as much as possible, cut the time in between the two mantras. Similarly here also, try to cut the time between passing the baton. So if you're alert, and that is how relay races are won. Relay races are not won by how fast the runners were between the two posts. They're all good runners. They'll be able to dash, but the handing over and the taking over really takes time, and really determines who's going to win. So here also, when you pass the reading order from one to another, the second person should be ready to grab. And it's all about awareness and being present in the moment. And what that means is that when you're reading Bhagavad Gita, your focus should be on Bhagavad Gita. Try not to think of anything else. The mind will come. There are hundreds of things that mind will want to think about. Keep on bringing it back here to me. Even if you like a point, like a point there, don't deliberate too much on that point. Go on, because the other people would have started to read. And when we do these readings as a teamwork, we are counting that as our chat, right? A chapter of day. So how can we say I chanted a chapter of day when I just read mine, and when others were reading, I was not even aware what was being done like that. And it's not that you're deliberately doing it, but mind does it. So, and this is what Abhyas Yoga is: constant practice over and over again, to bring this naughty mind back and say, hey, sit here in front of, Bhagavad Gita. It's chapter 9, like that. Okay. So do we all know who is in front of us and who is behind us? I don't. I only know that, I go after Chitra Mataji, so she's behind me. But who's in front of me? So it'll be Varshana Mataji, right? So after I finish, she should pick up, right? So,
Yes.
yeah, just try. And I'm reading. Is the order there the latest one, Suyash Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, so Varshana Mataji, Sonal Mataji, Manasi Mataji, Suyash, Sudevi, Neeral, Khyati, Preeti Radhika, Chitra, Shraddha Mataji, and then back again to Varshana. Okay, like that. So just if anybody doesn't know, Khyati?
Someone else joined whose name is ATTA. I don't know who.
Well, let's see. Can you unmute yourself? Let us know. Prabhu is a generic term that we use even for Mataji, so because I can't see the picture. So we'll make a guess. Otherwise, you're welcome to stay behind the curtain. Hiranyamayena patrena satyasya pihitam yat. Right? Okay. So let's get going. So that was yeah. Hey, Vijaya Mataji, it's you.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Okay, good.
I got it.
Okay, fine. So then, Vijay Mataji, you will be reading 2 verses from 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita after Chitra Mataji reads. Okay? And then after you, I will read. So we're going to start the reading order, and
all the verses are showing?
We will show them. We will show them momentarily. Right?
So after Chitra?
Yes, after Chitra Mataji. So,
okay.
And then who goes now? Suyash Prabhu?
Sudevi Mataji.
Sudevi Mataji. Okay. So everybody can see the screen, including Vijaya Mataji?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, perfect.
Yes,
so
Mataji. Yes,
okay, yeah. So I'm going to, ma'am is fine.
Finally, I got it today.
Welcome, Vijay Lakshmi Mataji.
Here you go.
Yes, Hare Krishna.
There you go. Okay.
Chapter 9, The Most Confidential Knowledge. Text 1. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, My dear Arjuna, because you are never envious of me, I shall impart to you this most confidential knowledge and realization, knowing which you shall be relieved of the miseries of material existence. Text 2. This knowledge is the king of education, the most secret of all secrets. It is the purest knowledge, and because it gives direct perception of the self by realization, it is the perfection of religion. It is everlasting and it is joyfully performed.
Text 3. Those who are not faithful in this devotional service cannot attain me, O conqueror of enemies. Therefore, they return to the path of birth and death in this material world. By me, in my unmanifested form, this entire universe is pervaded. All beings are in me, but I am not in them.
And yet, everything is created Everything that is created does not rest in me. Behold my mystic opulence. Although I am the maintainer of all living entities, and although I am everywhere, I am not a part of this cosmic manifestation. For myself is the very source of creation. Text 6. Understand that the mighty wind blowing everywhere, rest always in the sky, all created being rest in me.
O son of Kunti, at the end of the millennium, all material manifestations enter into my nature, and at the beginning of another millennium, by my potency, I create them again. The whole cosmic order is under me. Under my will, it is automatically manifested again and again, and under my will, it is annihilated at the end.
Text 9. O Dhananjaya, all this work cannot bind me. I am ever detached from all these material activities, seated as the neutral. Text 10. This material nature, which is one of my energies, is working under my direction, O son of Kunti, producing all moving and non-moving beings. Under its rule, this manifestation is created and annihilated again and again.
Vijay Mataji.
No,
Oh, sorry. Okay. The fools deride me when I descend in the human form. They do not know my transcendental nature as the Supreme Lord of all the being. Text number 12. Those who are thus bewildered or attracted by Dominic and atheistic views, in that deluded condition, their hopes for liberation, their fruitive activities, and their culture of knowledge are all defeated.
You know, Rakesh Prabhu joined us here, so he's going to.
Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah, he's going to read, and I'm just trying to see where the screen is over here that he can read from. You can read from this screen, Rakesh. You can come here and read.
Which one?
We are reading. She read from 13 and 14. 14 and 15. Here, Rakesh, 14 and 15.
13 and
13, 14.
13 and 14.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Fools deride me is what she read. Okay, 13 and 14. I was saying that, yeah, in the beginning.
Those who are not deluded, the great souls are under the protection of the divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me, that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original.
With great determination, bowing down before me, these great
perpetually worship me with devotion.
Okay. Sorry for that. Yeah. Others who engage in sacrifice by the cultivation of knowledge worship the Supreme Lord as the one without a second, as diverse in many and in the universal form. But it is I who am the ritual, I the sacrifice, the offering to the ancestors, the healing herb, the transcendental chant. I am the butter and the fire and the offering.
Hare Krishna. I am the father of this universe, the mother, the support, and the grandeur. I am the object of knowledge, the purifier and the syllable Om. I am also the Rig, the Sam, and the Yajur Vedas. 18. I am the goal, the sustainer, the master, the witness, the abode, the refuge, and the most dear friend. I am the creation and the annihilation, the basis of everything, the resting place and the eternal seed. Hare Krishna.
O Arjuna, I give heat and I withhold and send forth the rain. I am immortality and I am also death personified. Both spirit and matter are in me. Those who study the Vedas and drink the Soma juice, seeking the heavenly planets, worship me indirectly. Purified of sinful reactions, they take birth on the pious heavenly planet of Indra, where they enjoy godly delights.
When they have thus enjoyed vast heavenly sense pleasure, and the result of their pious activities are exhausted, they return to this mortal planet again. Thus, those who seek sense enjoyment by adhering to the principles of the three Vedas achieve only repeated birth and death. But those who always worship me with exclusive devotion, meditating on my transcendental form, to them I carry what they lack and I preserve what they have.
Those who are devotees of other gods and who worship them with faith actually worship only me, O son of Kunti, but they do so in a wrong way. I am the only enjoyer and master of all sacrifices. Therefore, those who do not recognize my true transcendental nature fall down.
Text 25. Those who worship the demigods will take birth among the demigods. Those who worship the ancestors go to the ancestors. Those who worship ghosts and spirits will take birth among such beings. And those who worship me will live with me. Text 26. If one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, or a fruit or water, I will accept it.
Text 27. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, and whatever austerities you perform, do that, O son of Kunti, as an offering to me. In this way, you will be freed from bondage to work and its auspicious and inauspicious results. With your mind fixed on me in this principle of renunciation, you will be liberated and come to me.
I envy, text 29, I envy no one, nor am I partial to anyone. I am equal to all. But whoever renders service unto me in devotion is a friend, is in me, and I am also a friend to him. Even if one commits the most abominable action, if he is engaged in devotional service, he is to be considered saintly because he is properly situated in his determination.
He quickly becomes righteous and attains lasting peace. O son of Kunti, declare it boldly that my devotee never perishes. O son of Pratha, those who take shelter in me, though they be of lower birth, women, Vaishyas, merchants, and Shudras workers, can attain the supreme destination.
Text 33. How much more this is so of the righteous Brahmanas, the devotees, and the saintly kings. Therefore, having come to this temporary miserable world, engage in loving service unto me. Engage your mind always in thinking of me. Become my devotee. Offer obeisance to me and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me.
Hari Bol. Okay, so Suyash Prabhu, if you can stop sharing and then we'll see. We will test our memory now. Okay, reflections.
Declare it boldly, my devotee never perishes.
Wow, you took that one, huh?
I like 22 verse, Mataji.
What is there in 22?
Carry what he lacks, give what he lacks, and preserve what he has.
Right. Don't we want to preserve what we have?
Exactly, Mataji.
I like 27, Shraddha Mataji.
Oh, 27? Tell us about 27.
I think I know it. Whatever you do, whatever you offer, and whatever you give away, whatever you offer or give away, do it as austerity to me. Yes.
Wow.
25, yeah. Whatever you do, do it as a service unto me. Yeah.
I like the one before that also.
26 is Patram Pushpam.
Patram Pushpam, yeah.
What she said was 27. Yeah. What
Okay.
27. Yeah. Yeah, what somebody was saying they liked 25 also. Was
The
that
one before that, if one offers me with love a fruit, a flower,
26? Yeah. Patram Pushpam.
or a leaf. This helps when we have to offer bhoga and we don't have much. At least we just say, okay, at least we take this.
Yeah. Why cook, right? Yeah. Give some water. I'll go outside and eat.
Prabhuji, we can't be satisfied by just water and leaf, right? So we have to offer full meal to Krishna also.
Yes.
Yeah, who was it who was saying that?
Engage always in me, offer your prayers to me. Mataji, this is very long, so I don't remember, but man manaman mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskaru mameshu se yuktevam
Atmanam.
complete
Atma
Atmano Matparayana.
How, Mata, you remember Sanskrit and then you saying you're not remembering.
I have
Now
to,
you got.
It's actually the last verse. Actually, it's the last.
Yes,
last
34.
verse. And what is so
Yeah.
special about this verse?
Surely.
Ange,
Always think about me.
Repeated.
We will come.
this verse is repeated in 18th chapter also, Mataji.
Yeah, Preeti Radhika was saying repeated, and Vashan also said repeated, right? And also, I really like, I really like the arrogance. Worship me. It's only when you're the Supreme Personality of Godhead can you say such things, right?
But then he's also saying that you will surely come to me. So he makes
Yeah.
up for it. with
Yeah,
the-
make up for it. But then that is the main essence of Bhagavad Gita. That's what you have to do, right? Just do bhakti of Krishna. Yeah.
I like the one where Krishna is saying to Arjuna, since you are non-envious, I am giving you the confidential knowledge.
So very important. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah. So that's one of the criteria. Non-envious. You have to be non-envious.
I think in this chapter, throughout the chapter, I was thinking, no, I like this one. Then we went to the next one. No, I really like this one.
Yes. Yes. This ninth chapter is
Ninth chapter is that way. It makes you want to like every verse.
every word. Yeah.
Also about demigod worship and the destination
Yeah.
of the different people.
Yeah, even I like that demigod worship.
Yeah, and the destination. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Ma. So I also wanted to pick the one that Sonal Mataji took, but then I had addition to that Srila Prabhupada pretty much all the process that he has given, because Krishna consciousness is a way of life, so we live it every day. So my sister told me that even when you get makeup for yourself, follow this verse and offer it to Radharani. And then I was like taken aback. I was like, wow, I never thought about that. So even jewelry, clothes, whatever I get, so I offer it to Radharani and then I wear it. And it's a
Yeah.
different bliss.
Yeah, that's how it should be done. Every piece, everything that you purchase has to first go on the altar and be offered to Krishna. I even know that one of my friends, she had purchased a sofa for her home and she brought her DT and put him on the sofa first and said, you sit. And today in the morning lecture, Vaisheshika Prabhu was saying, right, that you can know the difference where people have a DT in their house. You know that there is something very, like mode of goodness in their home because the DT is the center of the home. Everything in the home is happening around the DT. And when everything is happening around the DT, the chances of clashes are also less. Because if you're not centered about Krishna, where will you be centered around?
Yourself.
Ourselves.
Right? So it'll be the spouse, spouse one self and spouse two self. So there'll be clash, right? I want to sleep. I want to watch the house. I want to watch football game, like that, right? But if the center is Krishna, the clashes become less.
Yeah. I like this where Krishna gives a big concession. He says, even if one commits the most abominable action, if he is engaged in devotional service, he is to be considered saintly because he's properly situated. It's kind of, I can take other meaning, but it's kind of a very slack concession Krishna has given to us.
Yeah, yes. So there's a smell of concession over there, but the verse is not addressed to the person who's doing bad. The instruction is going to us who are watching somebody else doing something wrong. Api chet suduracharo. Somebody else is doing durachar, not you. I'm not giving you concession. He's saying, Api chet suduracharo bhaste mam anyane bhak sadhu reva samantevyas. He's saying that if they are doing anything wrong and they are devotee, they appear to be doing anything wrong, you should in your mind still consider them to be sadhus. And why is he saying that? Because he's now expounding on the power of devotional service, that it's an antiseptic and a prophylactic, right? So antiseptic is after you get the infection, then the antiseptic is something that you apply, right? And prophylactic, Khyati Mataji, correct me if I'm wrong, because I understand is something that is a preventive thing, right? Before you do it. So bhakti is like that. So if you got infected by something bad, then bhakti will act as an antiseptic on you. So because that person is doing devotional service, so even if they fall down, even if they appear to be doing sudurachar, extremely bad achar, then still, because they are doing devotional service, they will get back. Some people will get back very fast, some people will take a little longer to get back, but they will get back because they are headed in the right direction. So that's the instruction for us, because it's very quickly for us, especially when you go into devotional service. Two things can happen very easily for us. One is that we might just think that everybody in the world is so bad and I'm the only good one. Look at how he chants, and how he's holding the mala, and the hands are not clean, and look at what they did, and they did that, and they did that. And so we can have this nice chatter and this classification going on in our heads, whereby we conclude that every devotee is bad. but this is real Vaishnava aparadh, to be thinking like that about other devotees. And it's a very difficult thing, especially when you're working on projects with devotees, right? You wanted to do something like, say, chop vegetables for a festival, and some devotee doesn't show up on time, and there's a chance like you'll get angry. So when you're doing seva, the chances of doing these kind of aparadhs also go up. So although devotees die for seva and they ask for seva and give me some seva, you should always maintain a balance in how much seva you take, because too much seva, you will be tired, and then you will not be in a mood to say in the mode of goodness. You won't be in the mode of goodness to say, okay, I'm going to forgive this person, or I'm going to ignore, that's fine, they are doing something bad, Krishna will take care of it. Who am I to chastise them, and who am I to point fingers of them? Because I have got 600 of other anarthas in me. Let me handle those, right? I have got enough on my plate like that. So that's one thing that can happen in devotional service. And the second thing that can happen is envy. Other one is better than I, other extreme, Sudurachar and then a Suachar, doing very good also. Then it's like, yeah, I wanted to be that devotee. I wanted to be this one. I wanted to be this. And then, we start finding faults in them. That also again leads to Vaishnava Prada. Yeah. But thank you, for pointing and catching that one out. It's a good thing also to keep in mind when you go out on book distribution, right? Because you will find people doing the Sudarachar there. So what do we do? Like imagine how much Prabhupada lived this particular verse in his life when he came to America, right? He was surrounded by Sudarachar, isn't it? But he didn't say you people, you are destined for hell, you're useless, you're incorrigible, nothing can be done about you, let me jump on the next ship and go back to India. He didn't do that, right? He persevered, and that same people, he just, brought them out through his help. Yeah. What else from 9? Anything else from 9?
Actually, the whole chapter is so wonderful, Mataji.
Yes. Yeah.
I think Krishna says, right, I am the enjoyer of all sacrifices. So what Preeti Radhika Mataji was saying, to offer it to Krishna. So ultimately, even if it is, or as you mentioned, like furniture, Krishna is the enjoyer. So it's said in this chapter. So that reminds me how much, even though we think that it is material thing, still it is for Krishna.
Exactly. And the Chaturshoti Bhagavatam says, Rite-ritam yat pratyeta na pratyeta chatmani. So he talks about Maya, and he says, Maya is my energy. So we should not just, poo-poo and say that this is, this is Maya, this is material, this is bad. We believe in yukta vairagya, right? We engage all these material objects in the service of Krishna, and when they are engaged in the service of Krishna, they become transcendental, right? So, for the 14th chapter of Bhagavad Gita says, the Mam Chayo Abhyabhicharena Bhakti Yogena Sevate Sa Gunan Samitityatan Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate. So he says that Mam Chayo Abhyabhicharena, one who without any failure, with complete good determination, he worships me. Right? Then what happens? Sa Gunan Samitityatan. Gunan means the modes of material nature. So he crosses the modes of material nature. And Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate. He's situated in a transcendental platform. So they might look like a devotee chanting is engaged in a transcendental activity, right? But does he look any different? Does a halo come around their head to show that he is transcendental? No. But they are reciting. The Hare Krishna mantra comes straight from Golok Vrindavan. It's a transcendental mantra. And when you are chanting it with your so-called material vocal cords, at that time, the vocal cords are transcendental because they are engaged and touching something transcendental. So they get that effect there.
Hare Krishna Ma. So another one that stood out for me is Krishna said that I'm butter and fire and sacrifice. And butter is my favorite thing to eat. So Krishna has made it so easy for us to remember him. He says also, I'm the taste of water. And how many times in a day we drink water? So, yeah. So it's like every time, and I did this practice for a while because my sister brought it up to my attention that, every time you drink water, you say, thank you, Krishna, you know. And I did practice it for a while, and it was such a blissful time.
Yes, 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 yes.
Very nice,
Why you
Mataji.
can do
Very
tasmat
nice.
sarves, yeah, tasmat sarveshu kaleshu. Everything you can connect with Krishna. Do you want to connect things with Krishna? You want to connect the bottle with?
Yes, water.
How do you want to connect bottle with Krishna?
Sadhu Sangha.
Sadhu Sangha. Okay.
We are missing
Sadhu
it.
Sangha. We got this in Sadhu Sangha. Actually, Preeti Radhika gifted it to me.
And then 9.34, Man mana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji vam namaskuru. Engage your mind always in thinking of me, become my devotee, offer obeisances unto me and worship me.
Yeah.
Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me.
Yeah. Yeah. He's talking about samadhi, right? Completely absorbed. I mean, you have to read the fine print. Krishna is saying completely absorbed.
Mataji, this is also very nice. I'm the father of this universe, the mother, the support, and the grandseer. So he is everything. I mean, I'm the knowledge. So Mataji, he is everything. He is the supreme, absolute truth.
Even the healing herb, right, for any disease.
Ah, yes,
That.
yes,
Ah,
yes, yes, yes. And that's why in Ayurveda, when you take medicine, before you take medicine, what do you say?
Om.
Yeah, you pray to Vishnu and you say that, please let this cure me.
Yeah,
It's
even
really-
Dhanvantari came from the churning of the ocean, right? So,
Dhanvantari is an incarnation of Krishna.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, in our pharmacy school, when we first start our day one lesson, we had to pray to Dhanvantari and they had told like the entire historical story.
Yes. Actually, I used to go to my Ayurvedic doctor, and so there was a Dhanvantari DT in her office.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mataji, this is not connected with the chapter, but right behind you is a chart. I always felt like asking, what is it? Whenever you have time, please do tell us.
It's a secret chart. It's on internet.
It is a secret chart, but visible to everybody.
It's an open secret.
It's Vrindavan, Mataji, right?
We
Vrindavan
can ask
chart.
Rakesh Prabhu to take a picture and send us.
Okay, Rakesh Prabhu, your duty after the class is over, you take a nice picture and you share it on our San Mateo Bhakti group. Yeah, yeah.
Because Prabhu likes taking pictures and he
He
takes
loves
beautiful
taking
pictures.
Yes, yes, yeah. Yeah.
And in one verse, Krishna says that if you don't do devotion to me, you will be ending up in birth and death cycle.
Yes.
Directly saying.
Yeah. Yeah, he's laid it out on the table, clean. Yeah. What else? Can you bring up the chapter again, please, Suyash Prabhu?
He is not partial to anyone.
Samoham sarvabhuteshu, name deshosti na priya. Yes. He is equal to everybody.
You shall be relieved of miseries of material.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Right? Okay.
Even I like this one. The second one, it is everlasting and it is joyfully performed. So doing our devotional service.
Yes, I asked him to bring this up, the Suresh Prabhu, for this only. That it is everlasting and it is joyfully performed. Right? So joyfully performed. We should be joyous after doing devotional service. We should be joyous. The process of devotional service should make us joyous. And so sometimes people ask, like, how do I know, am I progressing in devotional service or not? So your meter is that. Sometimes you see the sannyasis who come to ISV, how happy they are. I mean, they have flown from some other place, some other country, and obviously you know how flights are. There are delays in the flight, your luggage doesn't come, the custom lines are long, and now the temperature is different. Now they didn't get the food they want, they're staying with somebody, and they are jet lagged. All kinds of things are there. And then the local temple has given them so many assignments, right? And then the local families also invite them. So it's a whole packed, action-packed thing and very tiring and all that. But they're happy, right? Why? Because this is what it is. And it is everlasting. That's also a good thing, right? It's everlasting. You do whatever you're doing here in this life, the body might die, but devotional service is everlasting. It gets carried over to the next life, like that. Yeah, it's an amazing chapter, and it's the most confidential knowledge.
Purest knowledge.
Yeah, yeah. Good. So should we do the next one then? The next document? The modes and moods and modes. Who's going to read next?
Rakesh Prabhu.
I think Chitra Mataji read last, I think.
Chitra Mataji read? Okay. Okay. So Rakesh Prabhu, you remember the PDF I gave?
So I think
Vijay Lakshmi Mataji will read.
Ha, Vijay Mataji. Okay, yeah. But it's okay, fine. Rakesh, she's sharing it here. You can read from here also. But let Vijay Mataji read first from here, from the screen. Yeah, thank you. That'll help. Perfect. This is perfect, right? So first Vijaya Mataji will read and then you read. So one paragraph each. Vijaya Mataji, one paragraph. Is she reading on mute? Vijaya Mataji, do we have her? How come I don't see her?
Yeah, she's connecting to audio.
Connecting to audio, yeah. Yes.
But I think she's muted, so probably Vijay Mataji, can you unmute yourself?
Yeah, I can unmute her.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Okay, are you switched off?
No. No, yeah, no.
I think you can read now, Vijay.
No, I think Vijay Mataji also has the video going on the side, so that's why the voice is coming.
Wait a minute. I have to do.
Vijay Mataji is getting twice the nectar.
Wait a minute. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Loud and clear. Very nice.
I think she got dropped off of the call.
Dropped off. Yeah. In trying to disconnect the TV. Well, she'll come back. We'll give her a chance. Rakesh, why don't you read the first paragraph and then we'll wait for her. Yeah, we'll give her a chance when she comes back. It's a big chapter. It's 2 pages long, so there's plenty to read for everybody.
So moods and modes. Why are some people by nature outgoing and talkative, while others are quiet and shy? Why are some people attracted to hot, spicy food and others to sweet and juicy foods? Why do some people enjoy classical music while others enjoy passionate rock music, and yet others enjoy both? What are the forces of nature that compel people to act the way they do? How do these forces work? And who is controlling them? Next.
Do we have Vijay Mataji or we can cycle?
She's not online yet.
Not online yet. Okay. We generally think that we are in control of our actions and that we are making our own decisions. However, in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, all men are forced to act helplessly according to the impulses born of the modes of material nature. Therefore, no one can refrain them from doing something, not even for a moment.
All living beings are tied by ropes of illusion called the modes of material nature, and the material nature is compared to the prison house. One may be bound with gold chain, sattva gun, goodness, another by silver chain, rajogun, passion, and the third by iron chain, tamagun, ignorance. Guna means ropes or chain. A man bound by the hand and the feet cannot free himself. He must be helped by a person who is unbound, because the bound cannot help another bound. The rescuer must be liberated. Haripur.
Oh, okay. The living entity, being conditioned, acts according to the mode of nature it comes in contact with. According to the level of our conditioning, we seek happiness on the material platform. As an example, consider the three primary colors, yellow, red, and blue. By combining these three colors, one can produce the entire color spectrum and paint pictures which can arouse any emotion. Pots of paint do not usually inspire emotion, but manipulated by an artist, paint appears to possess its own special potency to enchant the hearts. Similarly, the supreme artist Krishna has expertly designed the material world using unlimited color combinations of the modes of nature to attract us to a perverted reflection of the spiritual reality and to keep us enticed with its false charm.
Meet Dr. and Mrs. Bright with their two children who live in a small home just suitable to their needs in a peaceful country town. Dr. Bright is the local MD, a thoughtful, qualified man respected for doing his job honestly and selflessly. His hobby is reading books of philosophy, poetry, and science. Mrs. Bright and the children farm and garden around the house and care for the family cow. The brides are mildly prosperous people who give thanks to God for the things they have and take their religion as a serious duty. By almost anyone's standard, they would have to be considered exceptionally pious.
They don't gamble, and for them, intoxicants are strictly taboo. They don't smoke, and not to speak of liquor, they don't even drink coffee or tea. Dr. Bright has seen too many of his patients being troubled to themselves through extramarital affairs, so he's always been faithful to his wife, and she too has always been faithful to him. The brides decided long ago that killing animals is barbaric, so they never eat meat, fish, chicken, or even eggs. As in all, the brides lead a clean, simple, and happy life. But the brides are conditioned by a sense of happiness and knowledge. They are attached to their harmonious world. Therefore, they are bound to the mode of goodness.
Now I am ready, Mataji.
Mataji, yes, Mataji, go ahead.
If you want to, go ahead.
No problem, Mataji, you can read.
The Smiths, by contrast, live in suburbs in a stylish home filled with modern conveniences. Each morning, Larry Smith gulps down breakfast in time to fight traffic to the office. There he sits all day dealing with different headaches, as he calls them. A hard job, but worth it. He figures, since it lets dealing it lets him afford the luxuries he enjoys and still have some money left over for the stock market and some rather shady business schemes he has doing on the side. Money is the honey, Larry says. Gloria, his wife, wakes up in time to see that the two older children look decent and sends them off to school. She spends most of her day with the baby, the one we didn't expect, says Gloria. Either Gloria is in the house with the TV going in the playground with the other housewives and children, in the beauty salon, or shopping, or shopping. On the weekends, the Smiths try to be religious, but it's more or less a social affair, since in fact they generally disregard the guidelines of their scriptures. This family is typical of the mode of passion.
Now let's meet John Dull and Betty Grumble. They never got married, but they lived together in a rundown apartment in New York City. Welfare checks cover part of the rent, and at the end of the month, John gets together the rest by peddling drugs. Religion, they both decided long ago, is something they want no part of. They spend their time sleeping at least 10 or 12 hours a day, or else getting high on drugs, feasting on beer, and languishing in their apartment. For years, they have dreamt about starting a commune in Spain, or perhaps Madagascar or Nepal. Dull and Grumble have surrounded their lives with the mode of ignorance.
Similarly, we can compare the qualities of different animals according to the modes of nature. The elephant represents mode of goodness. It eats only fresh vegetarian food, grass. It is large, strong, and gentle animal. It has the intelligence to work well with humans.
The tiger represents mode of passion. It fierce, restless, and aggressive by nature, and it kills and eats flesh of other animals.
The jackal represents the mode of ignorance. Rather than seek its own food, it eats whatever is left over after another animal has eaten. It tends to be fearful and lazy. Being a nocturnal animal, it shuns daylight.
Real happiness that can completely satisfy the self is experienced from the spiritual platform beyond the three modes of nature. Hence, of the three modes, it is recommended to always be in the mode of goodness as it provides a runway for the airplane of human body to transcend beyond the influence of material modes of nature.
Vijaya Mataji, you go in again. It's
Oh.
your turn again. Yeah.
Freedom from these modes can only come by the grace of one who is already free. Krishna says in the Gita, Devihi Esha Gunamai Mama Mai Durataya Mama Eva E Prapadyante Mama Eva Etam Tarantiti. This divine energy of mind, consisting of the three modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome, but those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. Bhagavad Gita 7.14.
Such a person is on the platform called Vasudeva, or Shuddha Sattva, or pure goodness, beyond material nature, one with Krishna, not in personality, but in interest, in service and love, in this world, but not of it. Such a person is completely satisfied in the self, being situated in the original constitutional position of the soul. One need not wait till one's death to become liberated, but can be liberated from the influence of the modes of nature even while living in the present material body.
Thus, we can attain spiritual perfection simply by remembering our relationship with Krishna and acting in that relationship. We need not be disturbed by the modes of nature, since instead of putting our consciousness into material activities, we can transfer it to activities centered around Krishna. Such Krishna-centered activities make up Bhakti Yoga. When we engage in Bhakti Yoga system, we acquire the same spiritual qualities as Krishna. We can become free from the material concept of life simply by performing Bhakti Yoga in the association of those who are aspiring to or have already transcended the modes. The most important process of Bhakti Yoga is to chant and meditate on the transcendental sound vibrations.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Hare. Okay. Let's scroll and go to the next part on the next page. Scroll. Yeah, read the, we want to read the appendix. Yeah. So I want the next few people to read one column like that. There's a column for ignorance, there's a column for passion, like that. So just read everything in one column. Who goes next?
Okay. Person in guna, ignorance. No interest in spiritual life, considers body as the self and no idea of supreme spirit, laziness, sleep and intoxication, depression.
Person in Rajoguna, passion, unlimited desires and sees everything from the point of view of I and mine, hankering for material enjoyment due to the bodily concept of life, characterized by attraction between man and woman, works very hard for honor and prestige in society.
Person in Sattva Guna, goodness. Knowledge of soul and wisdom of distinguishing soul from the body, free from sins, sense of advancement in material knowledge, conditioned by the sense of happiness.
Person in Shuddha Sattva, pure goodness, realized knowledge of self and of his eternal relationship with the Lord, always engaged in practicing and propagating devotional service of the Lord, characterized by loving attraction to the Supreme Lord and his devotee, situated above the three modes and always blissful in love of God.
Haribo. Okay. Let's continue further, Prabhu. I think there's one more page. Is there or is that then? Yeah, Sri Namamrita. Yeah. Please.
Sri Namamrita, the progressive development of the chanting of the holy name. A bona fide spiritual master chants the holy names Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And the transcendental sound vibration enters into the ear of the disciple. And if a disciple follows in the footsteps of his spiritual master and chants the holy name with similar respect, he actually comes to worship the transcendental name. When the transcendental name is worshipped by the devotee, the name himself spreads his glories within the heart of a devotee. When a devotee is perfectly qualified in chanting the transcendental vibration of the holy name, he is quite fit to become a spiritual master and to deliver all the people of the world. The chantings of the holy name is so powerful that it gradually establishes supremacy above everything in the world. The devotee who chants it becomes transcendently situated in ecstasy and sometimes laughs, cries, and dances in his ecstasy. Teachings of Lord Chaitanya.
By chanting the holy name, one is freed from the sinful reaction of many millions of lives. Lord Chaitanya to Mohammedan holy man, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "Please get up. You have chanted the holy name of Krishna. Therefore, the sinful reaction you have occurred for many millions or accrued for many millions of lives are now gone. You are now pure." Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 18.205.
Very bold. Okay, let's look at the assignment that for all of you.
Share the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra with one of your friends and then share your experience with the group.
Continue.
Creature is very dear to the Lord. Therefore, my dear young friends, show mercy to all living entities by enlightening them in devotional service, thus becoming their well-wishers.
Who goes after Chitramati?
Me. Oh, Hare Krishna. The Lord says in Bhagavad Gita 18.55, Bhaktya mam abhijananti yayam yas kasmi atavata. One can understand the Supreme Personality as he is only by devotional service. Prahlada Maharaj ultimately instructed his class friends, the sons of the demons, to accept the process of devotional service by preaching the science of Krishna consciousness to everyone. Preaching is the best service to the Lord. The Lord will immediately be extremely satisfied with one who engages in this service of preaching Krishna consciousness. This is confirmed by the Lord himself in Bhagavad Gita 18.69. Nacha tasman manushesu kaschin me priyakritama. There is no servant in this world more dear to me than he, nor will there ever be one more dear. If one sincerely tries his best to spread Krishna consciousness by preaching the glories of the Lord and his supremacy, even if he is imperfectly educated, he becomes the dearmost servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is Bhakti. As one performs this service, I cannot see at the bottom, Mataji, for humanity without discrimination between friends and enemies. The Lord therefore advised everyone to become a guru, devotee, and preach Krishna consciousness. Yare dekha tare kaha, Krishna upadesa. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila 7.128. That is the easiest way to realize the Supreme Personality of God.
Hari Bol. You have more pages, Khyati Mataji? Is that all?
Mataji, could you tell the pastime which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling to Muhammadan, that you have chanted the name of Krishna and all your sinful reactions have got nullified, something, that pastime, Mataji?
Who's going to guess?
Sorry?
Who is going to guess the name of that Mohammedan holy man?
Is it Haridas?
Yeah.
Das Thakur.
Haridas Thakur, yeah. So the essence here, okay, so essence here is chanting the holy names of the Lord. So that was part of the exercise, but more on the main topic of the lesson, which is what are the three modes of material nature? Explain the platform of Shuddha Sattva, pure goodness. So what are the three modes of material nature? Okay, easy question.
Goodness, passion, ignorance.
Goodness, passion, ignorance. And what are they called in Sanskrit?
Sattva, Raja, Tamogunas.
Tamogun, Satogun,
Sattva, Raja, Tamogunas.
Rajogun, Tamogun,
and what?
Should Satogun.
Modes of material nature, right? Shuddha Sattva takes you beyond the material nature. Yeah, okay. All right. Then let's go to the next one. Can somebody read it? Who's next in line to read? I think
Rakesh Prabhu.
Rakesh Prabhu, you have to read. Understanding number 2.
Discovery?
Okay, no, below discovery. Understanding.
Understanding. A cab seller, tired of long distance walk, kept aside and slept off. Under the shade of a banyan tree that was full with a group of mischievous monkeys. After a while, he got up from his sleep and found his basket was totally empty. The monkeys had picked up each one a cap and wearing on their heads. Soon climbed up the tree, discussed and compared the reactions to this situation by a person in mode of goodness, passion, ignorance.
All right. So let's stop sharing the screen because I want to have a nice discussion going on this one. And while we are discussing this, I just wanted to also welcome those who are joined us here, Shruti Shankar, Adi Yagya Prabhu, and Rinku Mataji from Atlanta. Varshana, she's there, Jagdeep Anand Prabhu, Dilip Bhai, Patel Prabhu, Sashi Shekhar Prabhu on Facebook. Sashi Shekhar Prabhu, please jump on Zoom. We are missing you here in the Zoom room. Anyway, please.
She's in Zoom also, Mataji.
I'm on the Zoom. I'm on Zoom.
Are you two-timing? Are you also getting twice the nectar?
I was having like that all the problem.
Okay, maybe I'm looking at an older incarnation of yours. Okay, good. So, yeah. So what do you say? What do you say? So what's the situation? What happened? Can somebody summarize what happened there?
So the cap seller is resting beneath the tree, keeping his basket aside, and the monkeys have taken the caps and climbed up the tree. So what would be the reactions of the persons in each of the modes of material nature?
Good. Okay. So that's the question. So what do you think? Let's take them one by one.
The one who throws stones is the mode of ignorance.
I was thinking
Passion.
same answer, Prabhu.
I think that is in mode of passion, right? Because he's doing something. Ignorance would be that he's not doing anything.
He can also climb the tree in the mode of passion.
Mansi's mode of passion is really nice.
So we keep talking about these modes, but when it comes to applying them, it's like, I need to think about this now. What mode is he in? Like that, right?
Okay, maybe ignorance would be he's so feeling sleepy that he doesn't bother. Let me go to sleep for some more time, maybe.
My father used to tell me a story when I was very small. And so I used to be lazy, like, not getting up and not doing it. Mom is saying, go take a shower, like, 4-year-old kid not going, wants to play, like that. So anyway, so he used to tell about a story about lazy people. And he said, I'll tell you how lazy people are, And so he said that there were 2 lazy people. They were sleeping underneath a tree. And it was very common for us to go sleep under a tree, by the way, 50 years ago. There were trees, and there was no TV, so we would do that. And so he goes. So both of them were lying under the tree, and it was a mango tree, and it was summers, so it was hot. So it was nice shady area. So they went there, and they were lying down, and suddenly a ripe mango fell from the tree in between. And so one of them says that, can you pick it up and like squeeze it in my mouth? So that is like, that is like the height of, you want to enjoy something, but you don't even want to put that much of efforts into that I should do it. So people who are in the mode of ignorance will generally not take any action, but they will complain. They will complain and they will say, like, look at all these monkeys and they don't let me, they have no idea. I needed that money. They have gone with all the caps and this and that. That's the mode of ignorance, right? The person who will start taking action immediately get angry and pelt stones on them, or, rush up the tree so that he has a better look and wants to do something from the tree, right? Still doing some action there. This is the mode of passion.
So mode of goodness is they are trying to find a solution so that their cap returns, right, in a right and efficient way.
Can you tell us? How was it?
So I think in the story, like we have heard the story in the childhood, right, that he copies, like he puts a cap and then he drops it. So all the monkeys follow him. So that is in a mode of goodness, not hurting the monkeys and still getting the things that he wanted.
Exactly. Yes. So very, very well put, right? Because monkeys, they copy, right? That's why he does. Whatever you do, the monkey also does. So the monkeys copy. So he throws away the cap and the monkeys, they just, they copy. They don't use their head. They also throw it away. He gathers all of them and then he goes away.
So my grandmother had told me the story is like, first he started throwing the pebbles at the monkey and then monkey hit it back. So my Baba was saying whatever happens for good. So then he realized that they are copying it. Then he got an idea. So sometimes mode of passion also leads you towards mode of goodness.
Actually, I would say that punishment leads you sometimes to give that up. Yeah.
But these days monkeys are very smart, Mataji. They take the specs and go away. They just don't give.
So along the same line, Gaur Gopal Das Prabhu had shared this funny story. I think many of you have heard because I see the nodding.
Yeah, but
Mataji, please share.
Anything Gaur Gopal Prabhu is welcome.
Yeah, so he says that when this happened in a new age, when this happened with the cap seller, he had told this story to his son, and the same thing happened with his son. And then he like threw his cap, and none of the monkey threw down, and he was wondering why. And then the monkey came down. He was like, अगर तुम्हारे पेरेंट्स ने सिखाया तो मेरे भी पेरेंट्स ने सिखाया है कि ऐसा करेगा तो डालो मत नीचे.
Yeah. Like, do you think only your grandfather told you the story?
Yeah.
My grandfather also told, like that.
I heard monkeys in Vrindavan, they take away your things and they don't let you go till you give them a fruity drink. Is it true, Mataji?
Yes.
Mataji, yes, it happened with me, Mataji. He took away my specs. I gave him 3 fruities. Still, he did not give my specs. And finally, the panda of that temple, he went up, showed him off, and then he took the specs from there and gave them to me.
Yeah, because it's
Mataji,
a racket.
sorry.
They're trained. They're trained like that, you know. The monkeys.
Mataji, can I share a story which I heard from Bhakti
Yeah,
Rasamrit
it's a
Maharaj on the
story
monkeys?
time.
The monkeys of Vrindavan. Like he shared a story like how when Bhakti Rasamrit Maharaj, when he used to live in Vrindavan, you know, a small baby monkey. So you know, like how there is those doors in India which is just meant to like prevent the screen doors, which has
the wire mesh.
The wire mesh, but with the spring thing on it. You know, like
automatic closing.
Yeah, automatic that gets closed. So a baby monkey got stuck in that, and he was like, he got stuck. So Maharaj opened it, and what happened is the baby monkey got inside the house. You know, like he was trying to rescue him. The baby monkey got inside the house, and now all the monkeys, they actually gathered right outside the house, and like, you know, kind of lobbying that, you know, okay, you have taken our baby monkey, you know, so for the protection. So it became a really wild scene, like in front of his house, you know, like how it happens in front of government offices, he said. when there is a strike, like something like that. And he was just actually exactly, I don't remember details, but you know, he had like hard time getting the baby monkey out of the house. So it was just like a funny scene that so many monkeys, like in hundreds, they were outside his house. I'll share more details. And also another monkey story that happened personally with me is like my brother and I, we were in Omkareshwar, and they were you know, you feed peanuts to them, right? So I was like, I didn't like I was not in the mood of eating peanuts. I was just giving away the peanuts to you know, these monkeys were happily taking from my hand and eating and not doing anything. So my brother also started doing that, and you know, meanwhile he just took one peanut and he put it in his own mouth, like my brother's own mouth. Like he ate one peanut, like he had peanut in his left hand, from right hand he picked up, put one in his own mouth. And the monkey got like so angry, and monkey gave a tight slap to him.
Oh my goodness.
And I was laughing. But yeah, I mean, I think so. The point is that they're actually very intelligent beings, I feel like.
बड़े भैया ने मार खाया तो इंटेलिजेंट हो गया.
Of the monkey on this one.
Okay, yeah, we'll wait for your video there. Yeah.
Prabhu, Mataji, I think Gaur Gopal Prabhu also in one lecture he said that different things are meant for like in the early morning we are in the mode of goodness, then we have to start our day, it has to be in the mode of passion, and in the night to get a proper sleep, that is in the mode of ignorance. Sleep is in the mode of ignorance. So we have to work in union with the modes, material modes. It is not that a person can always be in the mode of goodness the whole day, because earlier I also used to think that how it is possible to be in the mode of goodness the whole day. But then he said like this in the class.
Yeah, the 14th chapter of Bhagavad Gita actually talks about that. And it says that there is always a competition going on between the modes of material nature. And so sometimes goodness will prevail, sometimes passion will prevail, and sometimes ignorance will prevail. And like, you know, as Gaur Gopal Prabhu rightly has pointed out, that the different parts of the day are characterized by a particular mode, right? And there is a transition period which is called as Sandhya, right? So when the morning time is, Sandhya basically means, you know, a transition point, right? So morning is ending and afternoon is standing. So that's one Sandhya. And then afternoon is ending and then evening is starting, you know, like that, another Sandhya, like that. So at that time when the transition is happening, and it is always the transition is happening from the time that we wake up. The transition is actually happening into the worse modes, right? Into a more degraded mode. Now, like from goodness, we are entering into passion. From passion, we're going to enter into ignorance. So when it is, when the ambience is in the mode of goodness, they are saying, get up and then you go and do devotional service, because, and that's why you see that all those who are devotees, they get up early in the morning, even before the sun is out, they get out, because when the sun comes out, there's a lot of magnetism that comes with it. And that leads to and continues to give rise to mode of passion. And it reaches its zenith at, you know, when the sun is on the zenith completely, you know, covering us like that. So, but having said that, when it says, you know, that Parthiva daruno dhumas tasmat agni traimaya tamastastu rajas tasmat sattvam yad brahma darshanam. So what it's saying is that firewood is better than earth, right? Because you know, if you look at earth, which is a combination of all the elements that you know from the periodic table, like that in various combinations, but then out of that content, which is earth, when you form wood out of that, right, the wood is much better because there's some potential in wood that you can use it for various activities, which is like cooking, you know, running factories, and then also doing yajna, right? And then he says that even better than fire, even better than wood is fire, right? Because now from the wood was being used primarily to get fire. So fire is better because, you know, that's what you were aiming to get. And all the things that you were saying that wood is able to do, it is because wood can produce fire, like that, right? And then he says, then he compares these three with the modes of nature. So Parthiva daruno dhumas tasmat agni traimaya. And this is from first canto, second chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam. I think it's verse number 24, if I remember correctly. So tamastastu rajas tasma sattvam yad brahma darshanam. So he says tamastastu rajas. So better than tamas is rajas, and better than rajas is sattva, because sattvam yad brahma darshanam. So you have to go into the mode of goodness, to be able to go and transcend and go to what you had read was Vishuddha Sattva, which is transcendental goodness. So you have to go to that particular level. Now there will be fights. Sometimes we will go down, but then to be aware. It is very important to be aware that this is sun has gone down. The mode of ignorance has started, right? So that's why for young girls, the parents used to say, don't stay out alone in the dark. Come back before the sun goes down, because they know that the mode of goodness is going to hit them, right? And they might end up doing something in the mode of ignorance that they will regret later. So you have to, what it doesn't mean is that, okay, this is mode of passion, so I will do mode of passion. No, right? You can always be observant. And then to your point, Devi Mataji, that you mold your life accordingly basically means not that I will do according to the modes, but because this is a particular mode, I know this mode is dominant at this time, then I will take necessary precautions, or I will take necessary actions to do that. For example, knowing that this is the mode of goodness, I will open my Bhagavatam in the morning, I'll try to finish my rounds in the morning, like that, right? Given the opportunities that I have, right? And then
Sorry. Yes, go ahead. Sorry.
And then when you know the night is falling down, mode of ignorance is going to happen. So it's a good time to go to sleep, because if you stay awake, then your mind is going to plant ideas in your head, right? A lot of mistakes we make because we stayed up late in the night. A lot of emails that we wrote is because we stayed up late in the night, like that. So we should make the best use of that, right? And then also, that doesn't mean that passion is all bad, right? And goodness is all good, passion is all bad, because all these are still, that was very wonderful example that they said, our narration said, and that was that you can be tied by a golden chain, you can be bound by a silver chain, or you can be bound by an iron chain, but you have to remember you are still bound, right? So a person in the mode of goodness is like Mr. Goody Two Shoes. I'm very good. I drink, plenty of water, and you know what water? I drink only filtered water. So like that, I do good. I'm good. So they are still conditioned, and they are thinking about that. I'm doing good. I'm very knowledgeable, like that, right? So you can be in the mode of goodness without thinking of God completely. You can raise to that level of, by suitable practices. You can do that. But what is important is to do the Shuddha Sattva, and to achieve the Shuddha Sattva, sometimes you can employ passion also, right? Can you give me examples of how passion was employed in the service of the Lord?
Hanuman in Lanka.
Yeah, so what part of passion did he employ?
His anger.
His anger, yeah. And you were saying something.
Yeah, actually, I wanted to ask one question, regarding the time of the day and the modes. So it is said, like, actually, Brahma Muhurta is when the good mode of goodness starts, right? But I look at like Prabhupada, and of course, I'm not copying them, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur. They would actually sleep at 7 o'clock and wake up at 2 o'clock, which I also kind of find very productive, to get up at 2 o'clock in the night. And sleep at like 6 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, and get up at 2 o'clock. I've personally like done it before. Whenever I had to study a lot, instead of waking up late at night, I would sleep very early. And so is it not still mode of ignorance at 2 o'clock?
Yes, but we are talking about whom?
Srila Prabhupada.
People who
Prabhupada. Prabhupada and Bhaktivinoda Thakur, they are different. But what I'm asking is, like, is it once you sleep and then you get up around that time, is it like, because it actually feels like mode of goodness, right? Like 2 o'clock until 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock.
It feels like mode of goodness, but people do get up at 2 o'clock also and do modes of passion. They do acts which are considered to be mode of passion. For example, if you look at most of the executives, CEOs, etc., they get up at Brahma Muhurta. And my CEO used to get up at Brahma Muhurta because he would write nasty emails at 4 o'clock. Mode of passion. So it also depends on what time of the day you are and what exactly are you doing. And that's what I said, that you just don't go with the you can't say that this is mode of ignorance, or this time is for the mode of ignorance, that I will always do that, right? There's a verse in Bhagavad Gita which says that ya nisha sarva bhutanam, right? What is night for everybody, but for the sage it's a different thing, right? People get up at night and 4 o'clock to do all kinds of nonsense, right? But if a person is getting up to say that because at this time of the day, nobody is bothering me, my kids are asleep, my family is asleep, my boss hopefully is asleep, and I will undisturbedly, I'm going to sit down and read the Bhagavatam, then that transcendent, you'll go to the mode of transcendence straight away from, from
Okay.
you touched something which is transcendental.
Makes sense.
Right? Like that.
Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. And I was like, I wasn't like trying to copy anyone. I was just like,
yeah. But it's a like if our work style allows it, and that is why Prabhupada always mentioned that we should try to simplify our life and not complicate it. You saw that, who was that? Mr. Larry Smart? What was the name they used in this? Mr. Larry Smart had his life so complicated, right? The one that
Grumble, that ignorance one, right?
No, above that, before that.
The Smith. Smith is in passion, and Bright is in goodness.
Yeah, but what was Smith doing?
Lastly,
he was doing everything in hurry, like breakfast in a hurry. He has to go rush and do everything. Wife would take care of the kids so that they have to go to school and all.
Yeah, and then after that, what was the wife doing? She would go to the playground, talk with other wives, and all that. Right? So they will shop, and then he would come back home, and then what? He had stock market. He had invested in stock market, and he also had some other shady financial deals going on. So all this is complete mode of passion.
Mode of passion.
What is happening, right? So this is very complicated life. It's a very complicated life. So that's what Prabhupada says, that you try to simplify your life, because only when you simplify your life will you be able to make the decision and say that, okay, I'm going to sleep at 7 o'clock, right? But that doesn't happen these days, right? We are all, after so much of materialism, we want to get a $2 million home, and then to pay the mortgages, you have to work really hard like that. So how can we sleep at 7 o'clock, right? Right? There'll be social commitments to be made. How can I sleep? But if you can still manage to do that, the number of hours that you tuck in sleep after sunset and before midnight actually is twice the, rejuvenation you will get from that. You will be twice as much rested as you would be if you slept later. So like if you sleep from at 9 o'clock in the night, and you see Bhakti Vinod Thakur used to go to sleep at 8 o'clock, and he was not just a useless, saintly person. He was magistrate.
He was magistrate, yeah. He was like,
Magistrate. And he was much sought after by the British people there. Right? People used to fight, like, I want to have him in my province. I want to have him in my province. And then he was the one who, being a magistrate, the court cases used to come to him. And within a record hour of 3 hours, or, record time, when other magistrates or other judges could only clear like 5 cases, he would do 30 to 32 cases, something like that range.
yeah.
Because he was
Also, there was train set up just to his house, so that he can go in that train.
Yeah, but that is when he resigned and said, I'm going to go to Puri and live. And then the English word, like, what do we do without this smart guy? And they said, please come. He said, no, I'm so far away, I can't come. And so he said, I will lay a railway track right from your house to the court, so that you don't have to suffer on how do you come in a horse cart and things like that. So yes. So what was his lifestyle is that he used to go to sleep at 8 o'clock in the night. And then get up at 2. So he has gone to sleep at 8 o'clock. So up from 8 o'clock to 12 o'clock, Varshana Mataji, he has slept 4 into 2, which is 8 hours of sleep, right? Then from 12 o'clock to 2 o'clock, it becomes 1.5 times. So 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock is 2 hours on the clock, but you multiply that by 1.5, so it becomes how
3.
much? So 8 hours before and 3 hours. Now he's actually slept 11 hours, okay? Now, from 3 a.m. in the morning, if you continue to sleep till 6 a.m., right, then it is just hour to hour. It's 3 hours on the clock and you have slept 3 hours. Then after 6 to 9, then it starts to degrade. It'll be half, like that, it reduces. That's why you'll notice that sometimes we have a late night and then we go to sleep late, like weekend. This is a natural thing a lot of people do. Like Friday night, they go out, have fun, then they come back home, they watch TV, go to sleep at 2 a.m. And then they get up at 12 noon. So on the clock, they have slept for 10 hours, but they still feel lousy. Even after 10 hours of sleep, they want to sleep some more. They are not fresh. But the reason is discalculation that is happening. So the more number of hours, so if somebody wants to practice and mold their lives that way, it is fantastic. It's a fantastic way of doing it. And I have noticed it that the earlier that you get and the earlier you sleep and the earlier you get up, it's a phenomenal amount of work gets done in the morning, in that Brahma Muhurta time.
Mataji, could you repeat that time frames, Mataji, once? And because
9 to 12. 9 to 12 is twice. 12 to 3 is 1.5. 3 to 6 is just one time. And 6 to 9 is half, like that.
Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah, so it's a good thing to keep in mind about these modes that are there. Yeah. And one thing which was, I also wanted to point out is that, so if you're forgiving people, what mode are you in?
Mode of goodness.
If somebody does something bad to me, then how will I react to them in my various different modes? If I'm in ignorance, if I'm in goodness, and if I'm in passion.
In ignorance.
Passion will be giving it back.
When will you give it back, Sudevi?
Passion.
In passion, right? Yeah. So you will, so you'll have a grudge against them. You will keep the grudge against them. And then you will keep a track of all the wrong things that they have done, right?
Yeah. Ignorance will be just thinking about it and feeling depressed and going into depression maybe.
Yeah. So when somebody goes and hurts you, then you will just sit there and complain that he is so bad, the world is so bad, nobody loves me, nobody does anything to me, and then you feel depressed about it, and you are holding that grudge against that person lifelong. Same thing happens in the mode of passion also, where you go active. Now you want to hit back, but before you can hit back, you need a list of all the things that he has done, right? And you meticulously keep track of that list. So 15 bad things he did, and you are taking it back on them one by one, one by one, one by one. You might get a chance, you might not get a chance. So you will hold the grudge throughout your life. And what you are actually doing is you're allowing somebody else to dominate your life. Somebody did something to you once, and that's it. They did once, they forgot. Maybe they don't even know that they offended you. But by us not forgiving them, staying in the mode of passion, we are harming ourselves, right? Then
And goodness will.
the good person will forgive. Now, I wanted
Yeah.
a little bit more discussion on, mode of goodness. The person will forgive. Somebody hurt, right? Is that all that he should do, or should we think a little bit more about goodness?
Does he also tell that other person that he's feeling bad about it?
You tell me. Are you going to tell or not? And why will you tell, and when will you tell?
If you think that the other person will understand and try to change his behavior towards you, he's a person who will try to better his behavior with you after listening how you felt about it, then
Yes.
you will tell him.
Yes, if that will be one reason you will tell him. And Varshana, you wanted to chime in?
Yeah, I wanted to tell when the argument is going on and the person is calm. After that, only one should tell, not immediately, because there can be aggression, and there can be anger, and the peace can be disturbed. So it is better to tell the person after the thing is over, when the person is in a mood to listen to you.
Okay.
That time one should tell.
Okay. And then also we have to be careful and cognizant of the fact that you are saying that we are saying that we will tell the person, but also we have to look at our internal condition, that have we forgiven them or not, right? Because
I think the true checking comes if we check internally first, quiet our mind, and then in reality pray to Krishna, and then see their condition and then talk. So,
That is Shuddha Sattva.
No. That's still Sattva. Yeah.
No, because you're bringing Krishna, you're praying to Krishna and trying to know your weaknesses. So again, definitely it is a devotee who is going to do that, not otherwise.
Yeah, devotee is doing that, but he's not doing it out of devotional service, right? Devotees have got good, he prays to Krishna to get guidance, but still he's acting on a mental plane, on a
but
material
the way
plane.
I interact with all the people in our life is also like, in a way they are devotees, right? So it's necessary.
Not like, yeah, but not necessarily. Like if you're interacting for example, you're interacting in the office.
Yeah.
Okay. So office is not full of devotees. Let's take that situation, right? So somebody misbehaved. Or reacted to you wrote an email and somebody reacted very badly to that email in a way that should not have been done, right? Now, the first thing that we have done, I'm saying, is that you have forgiven that person. You have done that, right? You didn't even have to go to Krishna to do that, because you're a devotee, you do that, right? You have done that forgiveness there. And I'm saying, so that person did something bad and you did it, and you have forgiven. So then is the case closed, or is there still some action that is required? So Mataji said, so Devi Mataji said that that you should tell to that person, right? You should tell that person. And Varshana Mataji said that you should tell to that person when that person is calm. And Khyati Mataji said that you should first calm yourself down, which, as soon as you forgive, that calmness will come. And then you go and tell that person when he is calm.
So then when we are telling the person, are we telling the person, or we are talking about the resolution of the conflict that arise? So staying to the content rather than to the person, because separating person from the matter really like helps in dissipate that energy between that person. So
yeah, so what you're saying is that before you forgive you, and when you're analyzing the situation and you come to a conclusion why you're forgiving that person, is
No,
that
no.
you're separated or when you're talking to him?
Yeah, I think when I decide to talk to him, because sometimes resolution is still required, right? You can't just let it go, everything, if there
Yeah,
is like an email or anything like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
We still have to solve the problem. So we
exactly.
stay on the problem and the content of it rather than the person that this person did it.
Yes.
So,
And it will be so the way you present it, right? So what I'm trying to emphasize here is that ignorance means no action, passion means strong action, but goodness doesn't mean no action.
yeah.
Sometimes you have to take action, and you have to do it, right? And in Bhagavad Gita we are seeing in which mode is Arjun, right? He has gone to that high level. He says, I don't want to fight, right? But then Krishna is telling him that there are some, if there is something wrong, then it has to be set right. Now we have to be careful about how we set it right? How do we go and tell that other person, right? What scenarios do we build, because one of the things we have to remember is that just forgiving somebody is not good, and it can happen also with our kids. Kids make mistakes and we never tell them anything, right? And so what will the kid think? That it is okay to do that, right? And then what happens is, once they have formed this habit that it's okay to do that, then they will do it to somebody else, and then they will get a nice bashing, because not everybody is a devotee, right? So they end up, suffering. And the most important thing that we need to also tell them is that there is a law of karma there, right? They also have to be cognizant of the fact that even if we don't do anything, right? Nobody retaliated, nobody did anything, but the laws of karma are still sitting on top of them. It will come back. Whatever they are doing will come back. So we have to tell those people, whoever is offensive towards us, like that.
So
Right?
like cap seller, right? He took action
Yes.
for solving the problem.
Yes, exactly.
Hare
So
Krishna.
Mataji, I had one
Mataji, retaliating does not really help many a times. It is better, I personally experienced, it's better to wait for the proper time to come to tell about the problem. I read outside the prison, it is written, पाप से नफरत करो, पापी से नहीं. So I personally feel the person is not actually to be blamed. It is the passion of that person which is making him do that particular action.
Yeah. And so that is why devotees have a compassion, right? Because they know that this is a soul which is conditioned to act in a particular way, because the soul has got a particular body, because of all the desires that he or she had, right?
that is compassion. Passion is less compassion.
Hare Krishna, Ma.
Yeah.
So I have a question that, so if somebody who's not a devotee and he or she makes a comment to a devotee that, who's suffering and for whatever reason, past karma, karmic reaction, or because for their development, they're suffering, and that person says that in a like a snide remark, like, oh, your Krishna will take care of you. So how should a devotee react in that situation? Like, should the devotee be titikshava, like I'm just going to tolerate, and reply that, yeah, I am pretty sure Krishna will take care of me? This is, but you can't explain to that person that tenukampam susamekshamano. So what's the right response in shuddha sattva for that devotee?
So a good response to that will be to thank them for reminding you that Krishna is going to take care. You just say thank you. And it's so, I had a manager and she was fantastic. I used to lead, I had a team which had some really tough nuts in the team, and they would, one of them was extremes, and so my manager, we were talking about, firing, but there are certain steps in which you can fire, because the performance was also not good. So no good performance, and then not abiding to the rules, not taking care of customers and things like that. But so finally we had to put that person on a work plan, and lo and behold, 2 months down the line, we got a huge complaint from a customer. So that was a good enough reason for us to lay off, to fire. And and so along the way, my manager always used to say that, and while that person was in the work plan, because of being under pressure now of on being on a work plan, for those of you who don't know, means that a manager gives you X number of actions to complete within a certain period of time. And if you don't complete those actions, you agree that you will do that as part of your improvement. And if you don't do that in a certain period of time, then you are fired, like that. So that's the process. And so every now and then, because of the pressure there, I would get nasty emails written to me. And, and I would go to my manager to say, like, what do I do? Because this was a legal thing going on. You have to be very careful of what you write and what you speak, especially in writing. And so she used to say, kill them with kindness. Kill them with kindness. It was an amazing thing. And it was like, it is such a safe way. It is such a safe way, because if the person is saying that, what, so you are suffering, huh? Isn't your Krishna going to take care of that? And then if you, give it back to them nice and good in the mode of passion, they will say, yeah. And you say that you are a devotee, huh? What's the difference between you who shouts and the person down the street who shouts, right? Who's a non-devotee? You're exhibiting the same behavior exactly like that. It's all nonsense. That's why, what? That's why I don't believe in Krishna. So if we, on the other hand, we just turn around and show them, no matter what you say, I am not going to, be frustrated or not going to exhibit any extreme behavior, they will admire you for your resilience. And then they will wonder that, from where is this person getting this kind of strength? And that's it. You are an acharya. You demonstrate Krishna's existence by your behavior throughout the day. Don't say anything. Just ignore, just tolerate. Because, saying something, and especially, to friends and colleagues and family members who are non-believers and all this stuff, only aggravates the situation, as Varshana Mataji is saying. And trust, she has put in 70 years on this planet. And if she's saying something, it's experience that is telling us, like that. Yeah. When we are, I can tell you that I went through youth and I went through, and now I'm also in old age. And for me, if when I was young, if anybody ever said anything to me, and I would like very quickly give back a very snide remark. And for the next 2 hours, I would sit and I'll be so happy that I said that. Like, see, that person said that to me and I gave it back really good, like that. But that's not good, Then it becomes your habit.
Rakesh Prabhuji is there.
Rakesh Prabhuji is sitting over there smiling. Like that. So, so it was not just Rakesh, it was everybody. So it is also, you also mellow down with age. But for devotees, but for devotees, but for devotees, they mellow faster. So if you are taken to devotional service right in the beginning of your life, as most of you are, then, you will start to exhibit these nice behavior, right? As Bhakti Shikapu always says, on book distribution, always leave with a good impression. And you know what? You will never regret that. I can tell you once that I had I'd asked somebody to do something and that person did not do it. That person did not do it. And I was very, very upset inside. Then I just said, okay, I will just keep quiet, And then that person started doing something and I wanted to say something more, like, contrast with, like, do you know what you are doing right now for yourself? I wanted you to do this, the same thing for that other person. Do you know now, if I don't do this for you, how are you going to feel? Well, the same feelings were there previously. That thought came into my mind. And then I said, I'm not going to say it. I'm just going to keep quiet, I'm not going to say it. And I can tell you, it was such a huge effort because there is Vachu Vegam. That's why they use the term Veg. Veg means it comes with a force that you don't even know. That's why Krishna tells Arjuna in the 18th chapter that, now you're saying, I won't fight, I won't do this, I won't do that. But out of your own nature, you will be forced to act. He says that. So that way comes here, and the idea is that we are going to tolerate, we're not going to say something, shut up your mouth, like that, And then after that surge went away, I felt so relieved that I had not said that, because, after some time that person came and apologized to me. That person realized, that something was amiss, then, the work should have been done and things like that. And I was very happy, and I just said that, if I had opened my mouth and I had said something there, then a big, verbal duel would have, ensued from there. And so you never know. Give the other person a chance to also, put up their case before we start our, arguments like that. So it all is argument. When you win an argument, what's going to happen when you win an argument? I heard a very nice saying when I was growing up. It said, whenever you win an argument, you lose.
Then what?
You lose a friend.
Oh.
And the funny thing is that people like to argue with their friends all the time. Forget about, other acquaintances and things like that. People like to argue with their friends, the big arguments, and they argue about all kinds of things over which you don't even have control. Like, sitting here in USA and you're discussing Indian politics and arguing over that. There are better things to discuss. The 18,000 verses in Srimad Bhagavatam. Sit down and read those. That will take you to the mode of goodness. All those other things, there's politics is happening, there's Bollywood, Hollywood, all those kinds of things, they will only lead you to mode of passion, and from there to the mode of ignorance. Like that, yeah.
Mataji, I'm remembering Srimad Bhagavatam when Hiranyakashipu asked Prahlad Maharaj, is your God there in this pillar? And he said yes. So as you said just now, that will Radha Priti Radhika Mataji just said, will your Krishna save you now, or will do this for you? So I think Krishna is there to save us.
Yeah. And the point here is that when somebody says something like that to you, how should you react, right? That's what her question is. How should I react? So there are two ways of reacting.
Yeah.
One, so many ways. One way is that yeah, of course, like that. There is, I believe. And then what's going to be the reaction? Show me. And then after 10 days, they'll come and ask you, while you're still sick, what happened to your Krishna? And then your faith will go down from this conversation. Can go down like that. The other option is to just politely thank them and say, yeah, thank you for reminding me.
Yeah, that is good.
Right? Because there can be no further actions and no further follow-ups on that. You have closed the case there. Yeah, thank you for reminding me. You have made your statement also. Also that, yeah, Krishna protects. And then for people like that, I would always say that don't go very close to the fire. I always tell, don't go very close to the fire. You get burnt. Right? Let Krishna handle all these, right? Extremes. Let Krishna handle, only he can handle. Because we don't know what's going on in another person's mind, what's going on, what agenda they have, why are they speaking such a thing, what kind of pressure they are under, because of which they come and see that. I mean, I was just talking, I sometimes talk to Matajis, and Mataji was very upset with the husband because she had made some cookies, and the husband came and said that they're useless cookies and you're wasting all this stuff. So, and then she felt very bad. She was thinking that, I'm not up to the mark, I'm not good enough, and things like that. And then this conversation was going on and on and on. Like, not on and on in that way, but further discussions were happening. And then, in the end, the Mataji came on and said, yeah, but then, the next day he himself came and said, where are the cookies? And he ate all of them, like that. So, she could have had a very nice fight the first day. And that's it. She could have thrown, out of disgust, she could have thrown all the cookies, because once you go into the mode of passion, then chances you can go into ignorance and throw one of them into a trash can, like that. And period, no more cookies, no more conversation. But by just keeping quiet and tolerating it, the next day, when the husband came and asked for the cookies, then also there are choices on how we react to that, right? She quietly gave him the cookies, did not say anything. And then the other option, what is the other option of reacting in such a situation? Mataji, I'm looking for an answer from you.
My Prabhu came by hearing the word cookies.
No, maybe Mataji will say, only your mom can cook better than me.
Yeah, but that is day one, when the cookies were criticized. I'm talking about day two, when the husband comes back and says, where are the cookies? I want to eat them. So one way is to quietly give them the cookies. Second way is to now say, right, now you've come here. Yesterday it was bad, right?
Like, here it doesn't last a second day.
Good one. I love it.
So you see how by that's why Vyashika Prabhu is always telling you mukhe prasadat. So and also that is why again I keep on going back to the same thing every time, between feeling, thinking, willing, and acting. Right? Thinking, feeling, willing, and acting. Try to increase the gap between these four stages and try to stay in the earlier stages nicely. So when a person said that cookies are horrible, and second day comes and eats all the cookies, right? Then you have to really think that, the cookies were not bad, number one. And number two, now you have to dig deeper. So always try to dig deeper into why people behave in a certain way, right? So what was it that made that person say in the first place that the cookies are bad? This means that he's not tasting the cookies. Why is he not able to taste and relish the cookies? His mind is somewhere else. Where is the mind, right? And then ask, like, maybe there's some pressure at work. Maybe he's going to be laid off. Maybe he's being put on a work plan, who knows, like that, right? So that is why it's always nice to delay our responses. Like olden times, parents used to tell us, right? Count till 10 before you say it. Nowadays, it's not like that. It's a very fast age. Things have become faster. You can't live that kind of a life, like counting 10 times. But still, for major things which are upsetting you, always keep a gap before you react. Because between stimulus and reaction, you have the freedom to choose. You want to have a more time to choose, make the right decision, then keep a bigger time period there.
Can I share something, Shraddha Mataji?
Oh, yes, Sonal Mataji, you have been very quiet this evening.
It's something to do with, Krishna always, believing that Krishna is always there for you. So when Rakshit passed away about 7 years back, the following summer, Hanumat Presak Maharaj visited the temple, and he called the three of us. And he was also very upset to hear the news that he had passed away and everything. But he told the three of us that we will never know the reason why Krishna took him away. But having said that, Krishna he's not a liar. He will take care of you. Now it is his job. He took away something from you. Now it is his job to take care of the three of you. And every single day in these past 7 years, I have felt that Krishna has really taken care of the three of us. So it's a lot of all about faith, and I think my kids also realized how much faith helps them, and I think it's the faith that has brought them through these last 7 years.
And Neil has become doctor today, so
yeah, he has, yeah.
That was Prabhuji's dream. So
yeah, so I'm hoping he's looking down on him and blessing him. So
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. After that story, actually, there's nothing to say. You said it all.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for sharing it. Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing, Mataji.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Mataji's life.
Thank you, Mataji, for sharing. Very nice.
Life where you can see Krishna's presence every day through all the dealings that she had to do to readjust her life, and then come up, and then not for a single day. Actually, right after and Rasik Shekhar Prabhu is my god brother. I'm so lucky to have, and so is Sonal Mataji. And so right after that, Sonal Mataji, bumped up her chanting. Anybody else would have just gone into grief and said, why did Krishna do this to me? But she bumped up her chanting,
But it's surprising that I was in the temple the following Sunday. He passed away on a Monday of Kartik. And then the following Sunday I came, and I was surprised that actually some of our devotees were asking me, why are you here? Aren't you angry with Krishna? I mean, it never entered my head. And then I started thinking, oh, really? I mean, I should have been angry. I shouldn't have come. He said, one devotee actually told me some people don't even enter a temple for a year. They're so angry that why me, you know? So
But it is Krishna's love that has been in your heart as well as in Prabhu's heart, right? So it's that mercy that has already entered in your life through
I mean, it
Krishna
never
and through
entered in
Guru.
my mind for a second that I should stop going to the temple. It was like something put in my head that why am I here? It was, I just, every Sunday I come and I would just come. And so I was surprised.
Yeah, yeah.
Mother, I'm very happy that you kept the routine of coming. This gives us a lesson. We are learning a lesson from you, Mataji.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is that even apart from the fact that people will say that you're angry and you're not coming to the temple, some of the people have this ritual that they don't go to a temple for 1 year. Like somebody's grandma died, and so he wanted to read something and all that. So I said, yeah, come to the temple, and I'll give you a Bhagavatam like that. And he was like, but no, I'm not supposed to go to temples for 1 year. And I was like, this is a time when you need Krishna the most. Why are you
Yeah.
come? So there are all kinds of karam kandi activities people do, this and that. And for 1 year we are in mourning. So but you're in mourning, so when you're in mourning, you're supposed to give up enjoyment. That doesn't stop, that goes on a parallel line. All that goes, you're still eating, you're doing all kinds of nonsense. But Krishna, yes, I will give Krishna. That's because the envy which is there, quickly give it up, give up all the good things. Maya takes over. Yeah.
Hare Krishna Mataji. I really appreciate Vijay Lakshmi Mataji staying till so late. She's 3 hours ahead of our zone. It must be 11 o'clock for her, but still she is attending the call. I'm really feeling very inspired.
Mataji, you're on mute, so we can't hear you. Can you unmute?
I heard her.
Yeah, I struggled everybody, to get into Zoom and then Facebook, and I don't know what happened for a while. Then I'm enjoying this, and thank you very much for Mataji, what you said at the end. Really, I went through like that too since five years. I'm going through that too. But I enjoy going to the temple and doing services and other things and talking to people. That's how Krishna is helping me. I am also in same footsteps like you. Since 5 years, I lost my husband too.
Yeah.
So, but you know what? Sometimes we have to chant Krishna, and then he's the one who has to take care. And I never used to think that I can stay alone without him. 50 years of my married life. So that's not a small time, that little time. But I am facing it. That is Krishna's mercy. That's all I had to tell.
Yeah, he gives us the strength. He gives
That strength he is giving. Now, some days I think, how am I living? And I used to think that without he eats, I never ate. I had to give him food first, and whatever time he comes from office, late or anything, I used to take care. But without him, I'm eating, I'm living, I'm going to the temple, I'm smiling. And that what makes me sometimes, but that strength Krishna is giving, like Mataji says, it's Maya. If that is not there, sometimes we cannot live in this world.
Yeah.
So whatever you're saying, that I remember some mine too story.
Yeah.
So, Mataji, you have met Vijay Mataji before, right? Have you?
Yeah, I've met her at the temple.
The temple, that's
yeah. She goes to meet her.
Now I am in Philadelphia, East Coast.
Yeah.
I'm stuck here. I cannot come there.
Yeah.
Until everything goes all right, I cannot come. So my medicines, my doctor, I don't know how I'm going to. I'm leaving it to Krishna. That's it. Whatever happens, what can I do? My insurance I got from there. I have Medicare, but I don't know what is going to happen. Krishna's mercy. Whatever happens. So nice sharing everything with all of you. It's a first day, I was trying since a long time, and I was telling Mataji, Shraddha Mataji, that I want to join, I want to enjoy it. Last time I saw, but recorded one I heard. So I want to say something right away. I said, oh God, that is recorded and I cannot say anything. So today I came on time, and I'm struggling to put it together. But at least I got it. Now I know. Thank you very much for everybody.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Thank
So,
you, Mataji. It is our good fortune to have your associations.
That's my fortune too, you know. Shraddha Mataji knows, and I was in ISV. I was coming to that ISV, and I am not yet initiated. I was asking Prabhu for shelter, but I'm waiting for that mercy. I don't know when I get the mercy, but I'm trying to get into this thing, and this Corona is helping me. From morning 8 o'clock till 11 o'clock like this, I am on the Zoom classes, you know, and Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, chanting, this, that. I'm having all day, I'm having these classes and everything. And I don't have any small children to take care of responsibilities. So I'm enjoying this because of Corona. So thanks to Krishna too.
I think actually it's also a conscious decision, that how much you want to get involved in your children's life, versus saying that, okay, now I'm at that age when I should be specifying and focusing more on Krishna consciousness. So you have taken that conscious decision, right? Otherwise, there's no end to how much we can poke nose in our kids' lives, right?
Yeah.
Try to micromanage that. Yeah. I was also going to tell you that I don't know what other classes that you are attending, but and you're attending this really late in the night for us. But we do have some classes in the morning, our morning, which will be a slightly better time for you. Like we do one at 6:30 in the morning, which will be 9:30 in the morning for you. But maybe you are doing some other services.
No, from 8 to 9 I am attending one local temple devotees, they are giving. But
Okay.
9 o'clock I am free afterwards.
We do 9:30.
9:30.
9:30.
That is also Zoom?
Yeah, Zoom, same Zoom.
Same Zoom.
Yeah, 9.
You're sending the text, Mataji, that same number or what?
It's the same thing. We don't send any messages. There's a website where we post all the timings for all the classes. Like, you used to.
But the number,
Same.
Same number.
Yeah. We can post it on the group one more time, just as a reminder. But we don't post it daily, because it's just, people get so many messages. So it's like, oh, it's noise. So it's a standing.
No, I know that now I can try it.
Yeah. Tomorrow's meeting is usually smaller in size, because it's Friday, it's Sunday, right? Tomorrow is Sunday, and so I have a hard stop at 7. Maybe I go till 7:05, because my another class which I'm to attend, Bhakti Vaibhav I'm attending, so that starts at 7 my time. So Sundays the classes are small, but we kind of make up for all that lost time on Mondays.
Every Saturday we have this class, Mataji?
Every Saturday we have this Bhakti Vrksa. Yes. Every Saturday we have that, and then Friday, we used to do Bhagavatam class, right? So we'll do. Yeah.
That's in the afternoon. No, for you it is afternoon.
Yeah, 4 for me and 7 for you.
Yes.
And choose whatever works for you. All that I was saying was that you don't have to necessarily stay awake very late in the night, because we just talked about, right?
I don't sleep till 12 o'clock. You are talking about everything, Mataji. What those hours you're talking? You're saying that 7 o'clock going to bed or 9 o'clock. I never 12 o'clock I go to bed. But again 3 o'clock I wake up. I sit, and 4 o'clock I do my chanting again.
Yeah.
I start chanting that early hours.
Yes.
I feel so happy at that time.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Somewhat half I do at that time, early hours.
Yeah. I also wanted to mention that, different people have got different sleep needs. So, maybe Mataji can get away with just 3 hours every day, but don't necessarily emulate.
For me, I cannot sleep more than that. That's all. From 12 to 4 only. That's all. 3 or 4.
Yeah, she's like that. And if you try and it doesn't happen to you, it's okay, because she's on the extreme goodness, She's able to.
Thank you very much for everybody. No, thank you.
So
It is so nice, Mataji, to seeing you after a long time, Mataji. Good you are on video.
Yeah, this one is helping. Like I'm missing temple, going to temple. But if I see devotees like this, I feel like I am in the temple. That's what I'm feeling. And then I'm getting every day. I'm getting those deities pictures from ISV and from Philadelphia. Another place, I'm getting all the deity pictures. So I feel that I am blessed like that. That's all.
Uh-oh, we lost her voice.
Mataji, regarding the medicines, I can get in touch with you, Mataji. So we will talk about it. If there is some way you can get your medicines.
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, I'm getting my medicines here in CVS and they're transferring everything.
Okay. No, you mentioned that your Medicare doesn't work there. That's why.
No. There, Medicare everywhere it works. Medicaid won't work.
Okay.
Medicaid won't work. Medicare everywhere it works. Thank you very much for offering.
Thank you for asking, Sudevi. That's nice.
Yeah, thank you very much for asking.
So Devi Mataji is making prasadam today.
But you have to tell Swati what you have on your.
Started very late, Mataji.
We have leftovers today, so from the lunch.
So what should we do now? Should we?
But I saw a big party going on in Suyash Prabhu's house, so
Maybe you are not supposed to say that.
yes, yeah.
That's why I saw the look on your face and oh.
It was Shashi Shekhar Prabhu's anniversary today.
Oh, okay.
Oh, why? Nice menu, I guess. You couldn't control.
Please join us.
Yeah, they are really nice. They always share prasadam. So
Anniversary means what?
It's engagement anniversary, I guess. I'm sorry, Mataji.
that is a real way to honor prasadam. So sorry to put you on the spot.
If you make any noises, the camera catches you.
Thank you, Shraddha Mataji. I'm going to leave.
I think it's dinner time for everybody. Everybody's hungry. So we should call it a day. But thank you so much, Sonal Mataji and Vijay Mataji, for sharing your personal moments with us. And
thank you.
Devotees too for sharing realizations and thoughts and comments. And we have been joined by Sujit Prabhu, Mukesh Prabhu, and Ronak Chaudhary Prabhu also. Thank you so much for joining us on Facebook, and we will meet again at 6:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Sunday. From today till tomorrow morning, Go Premanande.
Hare Krishna to everybody.
Hare Krishna to everybody.